welcome back to the Wilderness Podcast. How you guys doing this evening? Yeah, Saturday evening at that. How you guys doing on this great Saturday evening? Yeah, today's show is you have to put in the work show. It's the mentality. Well, I say you got to put in the work. You see, I got my new mic on. Oh, man, I don't like holding mics. I get to be free again. You know what I'm saying? Back to myself. I don't have to hold the mic. Oh, I do not like doing that shit. I don't like holding my mic. Anyways, over there. Check it out, y'all. Oh, yeah, today's show is why I say you have to put in the work. Is because it's easier said than done. You got a lot of people talk about hard work and dedication and all of that shit, but they don't even believe it themselves. What they do is piggyback. What they do is try to form Voltron when all you need is to put one step in front of the other. Because you have to do the work yourself. What I mean by that is, see, in my downtime, I like to learn things. And when I like to learn things, that gives me the ability to implement what I learn and get better at it. So what I'm trying to completely explain is you don't have an excuse to not get good at what you want to do. You don't. And you don't have to be always concerned with how you're being judged, how you're being looked at, how people are measuring you up. You see what I'm saying? They're always measuring you up. So the problem with people is they focus too much on what somebody else got going on and not enough about what they can do for themselves. So collaboration can come within the play, but sometimes you may not be the one that's running the show. You may have to swallow a humble pill. Yeah, something like that. It's who you surround yourself with. Sometimes you think you're the most talented, you're the most articulate, you have, accomplished the most. And what about if it's not about that? What if it's about just the message alone and what you have to say and what you actually want to convey? See, here at the Wilderness Podcast, what I try to do is I try to be authentically real with you so that you understand that I'm not always the person that have all the answers. So I just let us know that we can grow together, so that keeps me humble. That keeps me in a space of being managed within my own self and not trying to bring myself too high or try to see above others. That's not a good thing, I don't think. I think when people want to hear what you have to say, I think it's important not to follow the crowd, or I think it's extremely important to say what you really feel. I really do. I really think that's extremely important. But we have to understand at what cost, see. So we have to be responsible, very responsible with how we talk to each other. The problem with a lot of people is they didn't grow up in the era I grew up in, where it was kick your ass central. You know what I'm saying? That's how I grew up. Like if you came out your mouth wrong, you might get slapped in that motherfucker for real. Like people don't play. Like we got away with a lot of shit because we was not vulnerable, even as children. Toughen up. You'll be all right. Hey, boy, hey, you'll be all right, boy. Straighten up now. All right. Oh, all right. Ah, damn, that hurt a little bit, huh? Hey, boy, you gotta tell you, hey, sometimes life come with pain. Damn, this shit true. Hey, I ain't see that shit coming. Fuck. Yeah, I want to get it back. I can't eat big. So, when you were a young little type, when I was a little young boy, uh, see, nobody felt any pity on me. My mama and my sisters, yeah, they babied me, yeah. But when I came outside of the house, Nah, not growing up on that reservation. Now, when you got to work on the farm for the summer, and when you got to go learn what the hell all of that shit like and what you think, I want to do this and do that, you get to do that shit. You ever shovel hay all day? You ever done all of these damn tasks? You ever milk a cow? Man, well, I don't got my granddad and my uncle. They used to take us to places to show us where picking cotton was like. They used to take us in places and show us where they had meals. They used to take us in places and show us all of these different manufacturing tools that they use to build a life. They showed me what went into living, having preservatives. My Aunt Nellie Mae and my Uncle Rudolph in Greenville, Alabama, had preservatives. They had a farm. They had pigs, cows, uh, everything, acres and acres of land. That's the first time in my life I had country fried ham that tastes like that. And that was from a slaughtered pig. I don't eat pork anymore, but when I was 8 years old and Aunt Nellie made biscuits and that homemade syrup, oh man, I ain't never had molasses. You know, the molasses got a little hot taste. But when you had that syrup that she got on them biscuits, and the eggs straight from them chickens, you eat that kind of food, man, that shit tastes different than anything on the planet. Don't nothing taste like that. They raise the animals and they don't, and see, it's not like the meat you get in the grocery store where they don't have no love or relationship and no compassion for the animal. They just say grass fed. Well, what about how much you fed them grass, but did you have a relationship with Shelly Bell? Did you have a relationship with the animal? Did she know she was going to be slaughtered? Did she ease her muscles up because she served her term and on life and with you and was proud to submit her life to you? So when you give an animal a name, at least when they go out to slaughter, you give them dignity. You let them know how much you appreciate, how much they have served you in life and the time to share. But some people can look at an animal like that, but won't even look at a human being the same way. See, before we put our mouth on each other, do we understand there are solutions to heal? That's what I think about. That's why the Will This podcast is here. I told you I'm selfless. I think about how to heal humanity every day. I just know I'm one man. I think about how to make us better, but then I can't be a sucker. Because some people look at you as a sucker when you talk, let's all heal. You're like, man, fuck healing because the motherfuckers won't apologize. You right. That's how, so it's where the conflict lies. Where you want to do some things, but you can't simply because of principle. And the track record, the broken fucking record of being defiled, denied, spat on, told you you're not good enough, ridiculed, propagandized against, told you you're something that you're not, getting blackballed. All of these things that come with just existing and having a platform and then being restricted with speech. So we have to discover things that are going to make us better so that we can walk outside of the territories of, people wanting to hate us. And that's all people. People have their own mental mind constructs, but I speak for indigenous Black Americans. I speak for me and my people that identify with this right here. See, some people, when you're a Black person, some people be going so hard for being Black. It's like, I got one question. Do you got white friends? I'm like, yeah, I do. But we talk. We actually have real conversations. I got white friends. I got a lot of friends. I was in the Marine Corps, so it's a lot of people that watch this damn show that really enjoy it, and I haven't had any complaints. Because they know I know myself. They know me. They know I know my history. They know what I have discovered, and they know what they had to accept because they know exactly that everything that I ever came and told you about myself on this show was the truth. I don't have the ability to sit up here and lie to boast or to do anything that's outside of who I am and myself and what I stand for me, and for you. I love the the confirmations. I see them brothers out here, all them indigenous warriors. Yo, I know who he is. Yeah, I know what he about because they know I'm telling the damn truth. When you got shit like this sitting by your side at all times and it don't move, you see what I'm saying? Mound builders. Let's read something else out of this book. Let me show you some more stuff. High level wheat field. Hold on. We're gonna get somewhere I want to go with this one. I want to go. Wait a minute. Trying to get the Ohio. Let me go. I want to go real quick. Hold on. Let me study these chapters, Chris. I can get there fast. So you understand, my roots run extremely heavy in Ohio, from Cleveland to Cincinnati, Iroquois land. My roots run extremely deep in Algonquin land, a little further east. You see what I'm saying? Those Pamunkey, my people. Powhatan, my people. You understand? Nancy, my people. Give you the name. Tell you what I'm attached to. Mother's father's side, because that was my mother's side, my mother's father's side, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Natchez, okay? Yamasee, Mississippi, first American, first American, first American. As a matter of fact, I'm a Haruka, first, from the first, I'm a Haruka. So when I tell you, yes, I do challenge Africa for the oldest DNA. We got here at the same time. Pimp, you can't, if I'm 300,000 years old, and this country is the old world, and there are more pyramids and mounds in North America than anywhere else in the world. And I also have books that says one thing. Egypt before the pharaohs, and Egypt before the pyramids, they were out west first. Here west, don't you read from left to right? Why do you think the African has such a colonization type mindset that his children has? The European, that's his child. You still come to the West to do one thing, and we can feel that hatred when you that despicable look that you have on your face talking to us, as if we don't know who we are. And then we tell you the jig is up. Stop cosplaying, stop playing, and stop doing. Hey, listen, we should all appreciate our homelands and where we're from, and you should not be degraded and denigrated and chastised as if somebody know your DNA and your history better than you specifically. See, I do this show because I can. And these shows like this, when I'm showing you what I absolutely come from, the mound builders, the Mississippian, why should you get a bug up your ass saying, well, you don't know who they are? Go educate yourself. Because there ain't no way in hell they'll tell you a Yamasee or a Mississippian had any way of a pale complexion. It's too hot in Mississippi today. But we know how long you've been here, even the Caucasians. They've been here since actually the late 1400s. Okay? 1492. They hit Pensacola. Pensacola was the first port. You know the relationship that Louisiana has with Haiti because of the French. You better go play with somebody else that don't know where they from or don't know who they are, and they can't talk to you specifically from what you should be learning about who you are, so that we can have a real honest conversation. Because the shit you like to play with, you can't. I know too much about me, and my roots run too far back. So the more I learn about myself, the more I arm myself, because I know specifically my tribes, my clans, my people. And those people that know me, you know who I'm talking to. So, hey, we hard people. We people from the blood, from the root, from the soil of this country. I'm a Southeast Indian. So you see all the names are applicable, and I'm also on East Coast. Yeah, Southeast Indian, yeah, Virginia, Pamunkey, yeah, Virginia, Powhatan, Grandma Pocahontas, Grandma Cleopatra, grandfather, Acapulco. Yeah, all you got to do is look on my page, go to realthispodcast.com and get some merch. But also, if you want to go to my social media, you want to see all of my shit, you just go check it out. Go get your verification. That's from allancestry.com verified, very highly percentage. But guess what? I have no traces of African in my DNA. And that should not be a problem for anybody because I'm dark copper, rooted copper complected. Damn, man, y'all, gosh, well, I tell you. So it's like, it's so many people that are so color struck. They are fascinated with lighter skin color. They are fascinated. They love being, they still, even I'm noticing now, is some black people still elevating the lighter complexion above the black. That's the whole sycophant nature of being a being, trying to at least be. I mean, let me address one thing here. I hate colorism. I told you, J.A. Rogers just had you look at the book. Nature knows no color line. We all have gifts and attributes, but look who the father. Look who the father of it all. The melanated one. It doesn't go in reverse. It's impossible. And pseudoscience isn't science. It's not proven. It's just bullshit to make lighter melanated or white people feel better. Or even, I would say, lighter melanated complected people, because even in the darker skin of races, there is some form of light skin supremacy that exists too. And if that's not true, why do you have the Bravians and the Dravidians that's in India? Why do you have all of the lower Asia countries with a darker skinned people in lower Asia? But the Chinese and, look down upon them. Even Japan and China had a big feat at one point in time. The Japanese was calling the Chinaman a dog, a lowlife. All of these derogatory terms, no pun intended, for educational purposes only. So these were all, and even studying, even looking on YouTube. I'm a YouTuber. I look at YouTube as well. Shit. But when you hear confessions of even Asian people that don't hate or disrespect or don't even have a problem with black people, but they will tell you what their parents tried to embed in them. They just couldn't see the wrong. They couldn't see the fallacy of black people. What they saw was beauty, love, compassion, things that their people were not able to practice transcendently across colors. They only had the capability to practice it amongst their own cultures, which makes them more xenophobic. So that was the way of the introduction of the New World with modernism, and those type of elements. I gotta check on my pop. Hold on, you guys. What's going on, Papa Bell? You on the road?
Running through some traffic.
All right, you'll get through it. Now you just take care. I'm doing a show right now. I'm gonna do the second part when you get here, okay?
Well, I'm about 40. I'm close.
All right.
I'm on 675.
All right. Oh, you good. I'm doing the show. I'm gonna call you back when I get done. All right, Papa Bell. Love you, man. Stay safe. All right. Yes, my Papa Bell. I'm excited about my pops coming up here, man. It's gonna be a great thing, and he's going on to new adventures. It's an awesome situation. So anyway, yeah, I gotta salute some pops. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make sure he get all right. Yeah. So yeah, great stuff going on. But yeah. But see, the thing is, when you understand the type of work you have to put in to learn so much about yourself. And you can get help, but you have to learn how to ask the right questions. You have to learn how to show yourself. You have to study to learn to show yourself approved, to get that kind of knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? It's out here for us to get. It's out here for, us to always improve ourselves. But it starts with the root of you. And when you get, excited and educated about your purpose, what you have to gravitate towards to and what you have to pursue, you'll feel much better and more accomplished. So you have to understand those actualities and those facts because it also makes you a better worker if you want a job. But what if you're a business owner? What if you're both? What if you're a hybrid? What if you like learning? Ain't nothing wrong with that either. See, people like to think when they say you got a job, like that's a dirty word. Do you understand what having a job does for so many people? All you bosses out here that want to employ people. So how you gonna look down on people with a job? Do you know how educational and how disciplined? And even when you have a career job, and I would say any job, if you put your best foot forward in any job, it's going to be rewarding every day. You're not going to think of ways of getting out of work. You just do the job. Do what's in front of you. Because if you're not doing that, guess what you're being? You're being lazy. You're being despicable. And you're not even being good to yourself. When I was 16, I worked at Burger King. Do you know the corporate office? They saw my work ethic and they offered me a job and not wanted me to go into the Marine Corps. I said, no, thanks. I'm going to the Marine Corps. I quit. I quit on Teresa because of her nasty attitude and her management. I quit on her because the way I was being treated. Excuse me, no pun intended with the name. I don't even know if that's her real name. But that's I don't know. I don't want to be sued. But I quit because I wasn't being treated right. So any situation, well, I don't feel like I'm being treated right or fair, I have to disassociate myself or end that friendship or end that relationship or put a pause or put on hold to anything you think you got going on. Because if you're going to treat me any kind of way, all the work I put in, that's not warranted. See, people love to treat you as if what you have done is not enough or what you do is not enough. They only feel that way because they feel inferior. When you keep trying, when you keep working it out, do you understand what it takes to make a mound in the first place? Let me tell you something about the mound builders. Elephant effigy in Wisconsin. Paleolithic relics in St. Archeotype. Paleolithic relics in Delaware River. So you see my people have been all over this country because it's my country, baby. Yes, sir. The first. So let me explain. You got oh shit, man. This book has everything. That's why I keep this book, and I got the my leather copy upstairs that reads and have a lot better illustrations and pages. But when I tell you, this does good enough. It does good enough. This even brings up Cahokia, and it talks about Ohio, and look, in a number of the ancient villages, as well as calculated to excite surprise. 10,000 burial mounds and tombs were found in a single state of Ohio. Didn't I just tell y'all that? In the single state of Ohio. There's also 1,000 and 1,500 enclosed in the same state. Nor is their magnitude less a matter of surprise that their number, 20 miles embankment, constituted of one series of work, walls sometimes 30 feet high in height and enclosed from 50 to 400 acres surrounded the fortifications. Pyramids 100 foot in height and covering 16 acres of ground, divided into wide terraces, 300 feet long, 50 feet wide, vying into the pyramids of Egypt, formed at the foundations of the great houses. My family. There is no Alaskan, there is no Chinaman, there is no Siberian that was here before my people. Yamasee, Mississippi, and the mound builders, as well as the Powhatan, Pamunkey. Those are the Cherokee Nation, the Choctaw, Chickasaw, Yamasee spinoffs. You ever know the story of the Choctaw and Chickasaw? The Choctaw, they did the names of the two. They were tribes. They were brothers. See, you gotta have shit like that close to you. Your history close to you. Keep your history close to you. Keep it close to your heart. You understand? This is what belongs to us. Our words. You can tell me who I am. I don't got time. In the matter of the rain, the Choctaw rain maker truly swayed the specter of authority in the line of art. Undisputed was the regarding in the reverential awe by his people in all cases of protracting drought, when the quite frequent in the early day of the ancient domains, the Hatukum Ba Hikbi, man, rain maker, was regarded in the personal age, to whom alone the vested of the power created rain. Therefore to him they went with the offerings and the supplications. Rainmakers were the Choctaws, you understand? But let me get back to the history. The Choctaw and the Chickasaw. It was Choctaw. It was Choctaw, and I can read the beginning of the book, but I'm gonna just tell you like the two brothers. Choctaw won the ball game. You ever wonder why Black Americans are so good at ball games? You know what Michael Jordan is? He's probably a Powhatan and a Choctaw. He got a mix. He mixed children. We had to mix because we ain't want to have like the India, the Bravians, and over there, and what you would call Barat. They had a lot of gods, and they did a lot of gods with incest mating. But in America, that they had got beyond that. We did a lot of sacrifice. We did a whole lot of shit. But at the end of the day, it's the evolution. We didn't even sleep with our. No. They had to marry off, so we understood that the people that came here, the blacks that came here first, yeah, they married in. The Huguenots, everybody didn't have the same mentality. Have you ever understood history at one point in time? You understand you had good and bad existing. Like if you think about the show I did last night, how would you know or even understand how to be good if you didn't experience bad? So you got to understand that there is a balance, but that balance has always existed. Everybody can't say all Negroes were good at one point and all the whites were bad. Nah, that's bullshit. Do you know how many whites had the liberty of writing the actual truth that you should read sometimes instead of being so color struck? Some of those lighter skinned whites were actually blacks and were extremely powerful and did a hell of a lot of work to keep their missions running too. And I hate the fact that we don't know enough about history, that you have dealt with good and evil, not by color, but by mentality and mindset. When you start thinking about it just being about color, you don't know nothing about history. And you don't know the evil people that could exist even in your family and how they were wicked and how you could see some of the close people in your family, immediate family, that have some of the same wicked, fucked up ways that keep people divided and off-putting. because they let that wrong ancestral spirit take them over without giving references to getting to know themselves. When you don't know you, you allow them to run their whole script on you. Yeah, it's a real game. And don't bring Jesus Christ into it because it ain't got nothing to goddamn do with that at all. This got to do with your ass and your refusal to want to deal with you. And you want to put it off on some creation called Jesus that was invented in 325 AD on the Council of Nicaea, with 318 bishops said, hey there, we can just create Serapis from the Serapis Christos and create Caesar Borgia. You understand? That's who you give reference to, Lucifer. Lucifer, son of the morning, the bright and shining star, Jesus. Oh, is that the same boy? You can't even verify that, and I can. Because there was a first recorded Immaculate Conception on this planet, and that was Heru. But you're so stuck on Jesus. And you make every excuse for Jesus. But you don't even want to get to know Heru. And the word in phonics or Phoenician is hero. Hero. So what are we doing out here? Nobody loves heroes anymore? Or they don't even identify what a real hero is anymore. Because we've been so convoluted with tricks and trash and tricksters and liars and fugazers and people that have taught you to practice cognitive dissonance so well, everybody thinks they're from a root, and you know damn well that's a lie. So you have been taught to lie to yourself. You have been taught to trick yourself, fool yourself, uplift yourself, and degrade everybody else. See how tricky that shit is? It causes wars because somebody want to be something they not so bad. Well, I'll do a show a little later, but I think I've done enough. Go think about that. Because you know who put in the work and who didn't. America is, this is moo. Now, this is moo. For mound builders. Mound builders started here in moo. Not the way you think. Why do you think we had to be conquered so bad? Why do you think they wanted control over trade? Why do you think they wanted to oppress the indigenous American, Amerindian? Because we thought beyond war and we thought about innovation. All of the principles that America say it claims now, you got it from the root and exploited it. And we say that's enough. We're done. Africans, you can't exploit the fact that I'm not you. We're just cousins. Get over yourself. You don't own melanin. The Amaru been here as long as you, and you know it. You just don't like it because we don't have to give you the respect you thought you're supposed to have. How about you start being respectful so you can learn more about you? I see the Arabs took the pyramids anyway. But you know what you tell me? A white man took your country. See, that's what that hate, all that shit you just gave out right then. See, that's how we know. Stop. Rethink, relearn, readjust. It's a new day. That's the show today. You see, I got my stand back so I can feel much better without holding the microphone and shit. I gotta be free, just like you. So anyway, we're gonna do a show later, have a little music, have a little fun. But I gotta spend some time with family. And it was just good chilling with you. My pops is gonna be here soon. And I gotta check on him, make sure he's straight on the road. You understand what I'm saying? So then, if he feel like it, you'll get to see Danny Lee and Danny D. I'll holler at y'all, man. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Wilderness Podcast. I appreciate you so much for enjoying the show. And check it out. Say it with me. Favorite part. The wheel is yours. Be cool, my people. Stay up and be easy.